Hello, fellow modelers. In this episode, one will deal with the wings, tail, and landing gear. I start by covering the wing landing gear bays with Surfacer 1500, then paint them with white MRP. After painting the gear bays, glue both halves of the wings together. Before doing this, it is worth checking whether the parts fit together dry. For large flat surfaces, I use regular glue in a brush. It does not evaporate as quickly as thin glue, so I'm sure that the surface will be well glued. Finally, I strengthen the joint with thin glue. I press the parts with clamps. Leave for 24 hours. I tackled the folding wingtips. I started by cutting out the tab that attaches the tip to the wing, which doesn't exist on the real machine. This is where the viewer statistically turns off the film. If you're still watching, thanks. Give a thumbs up so the channel can grow, and so I have the motivation to make more films. The slots where the pylons were supposed to go in the Bravo version were filled with CA glue. To speed up the glue drying and to be able to start sanding faster, I use a spray glue activator. After a while, I can start sanding using the multi-purpose sanding stick from Ammo. It has 6 abrasive surfaces from coarse to polishing surfaces. To fill small gaps on the joints of parts, one used Mr. Hobby dissolved putty. Thanks to its liquid consistency, it fills even the smallest nooks. The same effect can be achieved by using Surfacer 500 or by mixing with leveling thinner and Contacta professional glue, Mr. Hobby putty. I remove excess filler with sandpaper. I start with 400 grit paper, increasing as I work until I get a smooth surface without scratches. The paper was placed on a U-Star grinding tool. This is a very cool tool, the use of which means that the edge we are sanding does not become flat as when using a sanding stick. Then, using Ammo sanding sticks, I sanded the flat part of the wing where I would make the wing folding mechanism. Since I plan to make a model with folded wings, I have to add details that were completely omitted by the manufacturer. First, I cut a strip from a pet plate, which I cut into smaller pieces and glue to the wing. This will be the wing lock. The lock in one wing is done. Now I have to repeat the same on the other wing. When the glue is bonded properly, I cut off the excess material with a fresh razor blade. The razor blade is thinner than a scalpel, so it pushes the material to the sides to a lesser extent during cutting. This prevents the glued elements from breaking off and the parts from deforming after cutting. Then, from profiles of various shapes and sizes, the remaining mechanization details are made. I need to improve the wing surfaces. In the real plane, they are covered with a single riveted sheet of metal. The model has raised lines. After sanding them off with an abrasive sponge and marking the lines where the rivets run with a pencil, I applied the rivets to the wing with a trumpeter riveter. Tamiya tape glued to the flaps and slots is to cover them if I don't stop and go over these elements with the riveter. I cut out a pattern of the inspection panel on the wing from the Dymo tape, which I trace on the wing using a Vallejo scriber. In the same way, he makes the landing gear bay doors, which, as it turns out, he will scribe in reverse. Before you do anything, double-check the instructions and plans. What is the fastest and most efficient way to repair a badly scribed line? First, fill it with CA glue, and to make things go faster, use CA activator. Then, sand off the excess glue and scribe the lines again. You can use screw goo, but it significantly extends the work on the model by the time it takes to dry. And so I have ready wings for Fury. Thank you for the time spent together. Please give me a thumbs up if you like what I do, and subscribe to the channel to see what I do. These two things will help me develop the channel. See you next time.